A mischievous sunflower seed stands alone in a vast, bright sunflower field, ready to begin an unexpected journey of self-discovery. In the middle of a bustling sunflower field, a small seed found himself feeling out of place. Unlike the other seeds around him, he didn't feel bright, cheery, or full of potential. Instead, he felt, well, different. He wasn't just any seed, he was a bad seed. Or so he believed. This seed had a way of standing out, but not in the way everyone might hope. He didn't follow rules, didn't seem to care about anyone else, and his mischievous nature was evident in everything he did. Let's dive into the story of the bad seed, a tale of transformation, resilience, and the journey to self-acceptance. Born into the field, there once was a seed who, unlike any other in the field, didn't quite fit in. Every seed around him grew with confidence, aiming to become beautiful sunflowers that could reach the sky. But he felt different. Deep down, he knew he wasn't like the rest. The bad seed feels out of place in the grocery store, surrounded by rows of perfectly organized shelves. He remembered the day he was harvested and bundled up with other sunflower seeds. They were all destined for different places, and though the other seeds were optimistic and ready, he felt nervous. And as time passed, he developed a reputation for being unruly. He would skip his turn in line, avoid socializing, and even knock over other seeds just for the fun of it. "I'm a bad seed," he would say with a smirk. From harvest to the big world. When he left the field, the bad seed ended up in a grocery store, where he was packaged alongside countless other seeds. The shelves were cold, the lights were bright, and everything felt too sterile for him. The store felt like an endless maze of perfectly organized rows and labels, a place he simply didn't belong. One day, a little girl picked up the bag he was in, and, like magic, he felt a thrill he hadn't felt before. But then, he found himself trapped in her hand, rolling and tumbling until, pop. He fell out and onto the ground, separated from the rest of his seed friends. It was the beginning of his journey alone, out into the wide world. The bad seed sits alone under a park bench, contemplating life as he observes the bustling park scene. A seed's dark days. After escaping the clutches of the grocery store, the seed found himself wandering. He went from place to place, causing trouble wherever he went. He littered, he yelled at strangers, and he didn't follow any rules. "I'm a bad seed, and I like it," he would boast to himself, even as he felt an unsettling hollowness growing inside him. The bad seed didn't realize it yet, but his trouble-making ways were starting to wear him down. It wasn't just fun anymore, it became tiring. There were days when he felt lonely, though he never admitted it. There were moments when he missed the company of others, missed the feeling of belonging. Yet, he buried those thoughts, trying to convince himself that he didn't need anyone. A glimmer of change. One sunny afternoon, the bad seed found himself resting under a park bench. The park was bustling with families, children laughing, dogs barking, and people enjoying their day. As he watched them, a strange feeling started to stir within him. For the first time, he wondered what it would be like to belong, to not be alone. As he sat there pondering, an elderly woman sat on the bench above him, her gentle voice carrying kindness as she spoke to a friend nearby. She dropped a sunflower seed onto the ground, a regular sunflower seed, bright and cheerful, and the bad seed felt a pang of something he couldn't quite name. Longing, regret, whatever it was, it made him think. "Maybe I don't have to be a bad seed," he muttered under his breath. But the thought felt foreign, almost frightening. The bad seed finds companionship, making a new friend in the park as they share stories together. An unexpected friendship. Days turned into weeks, and the bad seed continued to ponder. He tried changing a little bit at a time, in small, quiet ways. He picked up a piece of litter here and there, shared a laugh with a passing bird, and even let another seed go before him in line. At first, it felt strange, unnatural, even, but soon, it started to feel good. One day, while in the park, he met another seed who looked just as lost as he once had. She was nervous, unsure of her place in the world, and as they talked, the bad seed felt an overwhelming desire to help her. They shared their stories, and he found himself telling her, "You're not alone. I was lost too, but sometimes, it just takes a little bit of kindness to turn things around." And so, the two became friends, helping each other along. They no longer felt out of place, for they had each other's company, and together, they started to change. The journey continues. With each passing day, the bad seed felt less and less like a bad seed. His actions spoke louder than words, and he began to notice that people around him started to view him differently. He was becoming someone who could inspire others, someone who wasn't defined by his past mistakes. One day, he found himself standing in a field, looking up at the sunflowers stretching toward the sky. They no longer felt intimidating to him, instead, they felt like a goal, something he could work toward. He looked over at his friend and, for the first time, felt that he could truly grow into something greater. The bad seed feels inspired and at peace, standing in the sunflower field and looking up to the sky at sunset. In the end, the bad seed realized he had never been truly bad. He was simply a seed who had taken a few wrong turns. With patience, kindness, and the support of friends, he was able to change his path and find his way back to who he was meant to be. As he looked up at the sunflowers around him, he no longer felt small or out of place. Instead, he felt like he belonged, like he could reach for the sky just like everyone else.